always ask this one question: is Excalibur Homes a scam?
We asked Excalibur to respond. They didn't. But here's what they told the BBB. Our company manages over 8,000 rental houses. Our customers are the property owners, and they are very satisfied with our service. The BBB is getting complaints from tenants. We do not represent the tenant.
Welcome to my channel, Clark the Realtor. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Devon Clark, National Licensed Realtor, and today we are going to get into a question that I always get asked from by either people that are looking to rent or other colleagues of mine that are licensed realtors down here in the state of Georgia. They always ask this one question: is Excalibur Homes a scam? All right, but before we get into that question and we do some investigation, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and put your notifications on to be alerted whenever new videos get uploaded to this channel, and let's get into it.
Warning about a local property management company accused of not answering the phone and long delays fixing maintenance problems.
Well, Better Call Harry is digging into the complaints. He's here with more ways you can protect yourself. Harry?
You know what? We get a lot of complaints about property management companies, and especially when it comes to companies that own houses. They're in the rental business of rental homes. The Better Business Bureau issued a warning about Excalibur Homes LLC. The Alpharetta-based company manages rental properties for landlords. Let's take a look.
Excalibur Homes says it is the leading rental broker in the Southeast. It has a YouTube page where you can take video tours, and it manages more than 8,000 properties for landlords and investors. If something breaks, like the AC, the tenant calls Excalibur to make the repair. But the Better Business Bureau has a warning: 137 complaints showing a pattern of complaints alleging service or repair issues and delays getting their work orders or maintenance items completed. It also alleges that the company is keeping security deposits without any justification, and for that reason, BBB revoked their accreditation and gave them an F. We went through dozens of complaints. One customer says AC has been out in the home for 2 weeks. Another says, I reported a water leak with this management company for 6 months. They never came out to fix the home. We also looked at unverified reviews and found a big discrepancy. Yelp has 194 reviews with a 1.3 star rating. But when you look at Google reviews, there are 4,600 of them, and the score jumps to 4.5 stars. We asked Excalibur to respond. They didn't. But here's what they told the BBB. Our company manages over 8,000 rental houses. Our customers are the property owners, and they are very satisfied with our service. The BBB is getting complaints from tenants. We do not represent the tenant.
Any tenant needs to remember that with any property management company that is managing something for a landlord, you're not the customer. The customer is the owner of that property. Excalibur's statement goes on to say how the BBB allows their tenants to damage their reputation, and they are, quote, withdrawing.
All right, so we just watched that video from the Atlanta News First, but now we're going to get into this article. So if you guys don't know, Excalibur Homes is a property management company. They manage several properties down here in the metro Atlanta area. And they flood our MLS system. So what are we going to do? I just showed you the video in regards to the complaints that have been put out there from Excalibur about their BBB accreditation getting revoked. Also, them getting the F, and numerous complaints from tenants. But we are going to go into this article and just read some of the complaints real quick. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to also tell you how the process kind of works with Excalibur and why people sometimes think they're a scam. And not a scam in a sense of having rental properties for the person to move into, but these particular complaints that were filed or on video were based on the tenants living in the property already, and them filing complaints, or if they moved out, them trying to get their security deposit back. And so let's just get into it a little bit. So it says right here, it has been almost 6 months and the request has not been resolved, said the consumer. I made a maintenance request because a light post in front of the yard of the house I'm renting fell over and needs to be replaced. I created 4 different maintenance requests because each one was left ignored. It is now an HOA violation and is still laying on the ground with no scheduled appointments to come out and take care of it. Right here, another customer said, my move-out inspection was completed on April 4th, the customer wrote. After I did not hear from the company for some time, I decided to reach out on April 12th to inquire about my security deposit being returned. My property manager advised me that my $2,450 of my $2,650 deposit was being returned. I asked when I could expect the check in the mail. The property manager advised that the check was mailed out on April 30th and it would take up to 30 days. I have since reached out pleading for their assistance to confirm what address they mailed the check to. I have emailed them several times with no response regarding the return of my security deposit. So these are just some of the complaints that were made in regards to Excalibur Homes. And so I just kind of want to take you guys back to the process in regards to Excalibur and some of the clients that I work with as trying to get them into Excalibur. The process is very tedious. It can seem as if they are trying to put on a scam and take application fees. So let's kind of dive into a little bit of how you can get kind of acquainted or get kind of acclimated as far as trying to apply or go forward with Excalibur in regards to getting one of the properties that they rent out down here in the metro area of Atlanta. All right, so when you apply for Excalibur as a renter, you know that you're applying for one particular home, right? And if you guys don't know, they manage, if you saw the video, over 8,000 properties down here in the metro Atlanta area. So they are always flooding our MLS system, or they're always on Zillow, Realtor.com. Excalibur properties are typically cheaper to rent than most other rentals down here in the metro Atlanta area. So most people kind of flock towards their properties. They always create great images online. And most of these images are pictures that were literally refurbished and they were taken a long time ago, and then they kind of throw it back up on the MLS or on Zillow. But and then anyway, when you go about applying for the process of Excalibur, they will in turn, as you guys can see this email, if you don't get approved or denied, they'll send this email to you and they'll say, thank you for applying to lease one of the many houses managed by Excalibur Homes. Unfortunately, the home you applied for has come off the market. Please note your application was not approved or denied. The homeowner selected an applicant prior to your application being presented and receiving a decision. If you would like to transfer your application to a different property, please respond directly to this email with the property you would like to transfer to within 48 hours. Please note, if you do not respond directly to this email with your request, your transfer request may not be completed. Transfers can only be provided within 30 days of your credit being pulled. Due to the high volume of applications and transfer requests, please note your application cannot be transferred more than 3 times. You can go to X, Y, and Z. So they kind of send over this email in regards to telling you that you can transfer your application to a different property. Someone else has already taken the property that you applied for. And this is a pattern with Excalibur. So I know you guys are probably thinking, well, you know, there's only one property, there's several people that are applying, and how does this look like, quote unquote, a scam? And I'm not saying that this looks like a scam. They are basically over at Excalibur. What they're doing is they're creating like a pipeline, if you guys don't realize. So they're creating a pipeline, and in the pipeline, what they're doing is that they're having several people apply. Several people are applying at one time, and they're funneling them through a system. So it's almost like when you apply, you don't get approved or denied because there's so many in the pool and there's only one house. And let's just say there's 100 applicants applying for one house. It makes sense. It does make sense in regards to them, you know, having to send out several emails like this. But however, the problem is what happens most of the time is that what I found with some of the clients that I tried to get through Excalibur, that they would get that email presented to them several times over and over again. And then at the end, they would get denied. And so after a while, some of the clients were asking me, like, is this a scam? Or are they just trying to collect application fees? Because I don't understand why I'm getting denied. I don't have a bad credit score. I have income X, Y, and Z, and I have, you know, everything is great on my credit history and all that stuff. And so they would deny them based off stuff that didn't make sense. They would deny them, say, on your income. And you'd be like, well, I have verifiable income. Why are you saying I got denied when I'm trying to upload the income and show you that I have verifiable income? They will upload it to the processor. The processor would then in turn show, you know, tell them like, okay, you got approved or whatever. And then they wouldn't hear anything else from Excalibur. So it can kind of assume that you would think that this company is a scam in regards to that, because it's like, all right, well, if everything checks off the boxes, why am I not getting into one of these rental homes? And I've had success in regards to getting some clients into Excalibur. I'm not trying to just point out the negatives about them, but I've had clients that got into them as well. And like I said, that particular video that we saw in the beginning was more based around the consumers being inside Excalibur or leaving Excalibur, but I'm trying to break down the process as far as getting into Excalibur and how it can kind of come off sometimes as a little fishy or possibly being a scam because the way they set up the system, and as far as them sending you emails where they're like, oh, you didn't get in, you were transferring the application, you got up to a certain amount of time, and everything that you do has to be done via email because they're like, our processors or they work remotely from home. No one's at the office. I actually drove up to the office. No one is in the office to assist with said information. They want you to go online to present everything. And I really don't like that the consumer cannot physically go and talk to the person. And then also when you call on the phone, it's a runaround. They don't know what they're talking about. I had several different agents come on an Excalibur because they kind of transfer the calls out of the country as well. So several people tell you different things. I had one person tell me like, if the property says wait list, that means that the house is going through renovations or that there's a current tenant in the house and they are in the process of getting it out. I had another person when I called back to ask the same question say, oh no, a wait list means that you can only virtually see it. And I'm telling them I know you can only virtually see it because I'm a realtor down here, and in my MLS and also on Zillow and everything, it does say virtual touring only. So I understand that. All right. So let me also read a text message I got from a client that I was trying to also help get inside an Excalibur home. And this is what they had received when they transferred they got this particular email that I just showed you guys. They transferred the property. They got the email again as far as another email saying that property was taken. And then they got another email once they transferred to another one saying like, I'm sorry to inform you, I'm reading off my phone, you guys. I'm sorry to inform you that the home has been taken off the market as of this morning for renovations, and I have not been informed of when these updates will be completed. Is there another home you would like to transfer your application to? So it creates a runaround, and people are like, well, I don't understand what's going on. Why am I getting this runaround? It's not that hard to tell me yes or no as far as me getting into the property. Like I said before, I understand that there are a lot of people applying for the properties. But at the end of the day, I feel like there needs to be a system set up with Excalibur just to see if people are approved for the homes. So because they have to fill out an application, because they have to submit all this verifiable income information, because they got to verify employment, verify, his credit history, background checks, all these things that they do as far as, an applicant applying to be considered for one of their properties. What they should do is they should tell the client, like, you've been approved to go through Excalibur Homes as a possible client in one of the X, Y, and Z properties within this price range. These are the properties that are available within this price range. You can pick from these particular properties, and then once you pick, we'll send it over to our home, to the landlord or the homeowner per se, and we allow them to disseminate whether you are qualified for their property or not. But they should send you an approval thing instead of continuously sending you those emails over and over again. You haven't been approved, you haven't been denied. It's like, okay. And then by the time, like I said, some of the clients I worked with, by the time they got to the part where their application was quote unquote allowed to go through, or the third time, because they give you 3 times to transfer application. Once the third time will hit, it'll be like, you are denied. And it'll be like, you're denied because X, Y, and Z. And this could take a process over a month, a month and a half, 2 months, because Excalibur moves very slow. They're not very urgent about anything. They don't realize that people are on a timely manner as far as trying to move into a property. But nonetheless, let's kind of dive into now the whole thing around the Better Business Bureau. As you guys saw, that they had a case in regards to the Better Business Bureau. So we are going to first talk about what the purpose of the Better Business Bureau is, so you guys can understand what the purpose of the Better Business Bureau is. It said the Better Business Bureau is a nonprofit membership organization with chapters throughout North America that are focused on advancing marketplace trust by rating businesses based on their reliability and performance and facilitating the resolution of consumer complaints. So it is a website in which people can be accredited through as far as being a great company to work with, a reliable company to work with. You can get an A rating, an F rating, all those things. So that is the Better Business Bureau. April 26, 2023, they lost their accreditation. So just this year, 2023, it says the business accreditation in the BBB has been revoked by the BBB Board of Directors due to failure by the business to adhere to the BBB requirement that accredited businesses meet and abide by the following standards. So then they have several standards here that they, didn't meet is professionalism here. So it says right here that they were revoked. They got an F, revoked. Excalibur Homes failed to address any of the complaints, failed to even care about their consumer, their tenant. And what they said, if you guys heard in the video prior, the owner basically said, we work for the homeowner, we don't work for the tenant. And so I addressed the situation in regards to this, right? If a homeowner assigns you to manage their property, yes, I understand you work for the homeowner, you collect the rent, you give it to them, X, Y, and Z. However, as far as I know, being in real estate and also having a friend that ran her own properties and hired a management company, if anything broke down in a house, anything happened, any type of complaints, that management company is placed there to be a third party where that particular tenant cannot reach the owner of said property, but they would go and report everything to the management company. So the management company does have a responsibility. They might not feel like they have a fiduciary responsibility like the owner per se of the property, because the owner had hired them to do X, Y, and Z. However, you fall in line with having some responsibility to the tenant because you are trying to make sure everything is handled on that property as a management company. That is the purpose of the title management company. You are managing said property. You do not have the right to turn around and say, oh, well, we don't owe the tenant no responsibility or per se to do anything because we owe that all to the owner. No, you owe the tenant as well. The owner is hiring you as a management company to manage their property. So if anything breaks in the house, the tenant calls you to get it fixed. If anything happens, like the young lady said, a lamppost fell down in front of her yard, you are responsible to doing this. Just like the other lady said, she wanted her security deposit back. You guys are holding that. The owner of the property is not having no interactions. That's why they hire and they pay you a monthly fee to make sure you manage said property correctly. All I can say in regards to Excalibur Homes, as you guys saw some of the information that I showed today, they are a very iffy company. I don't want to say exactly they're a scam. It is a lot of things that they have under their belt. Their staff is not the best. They don't have a great staff, as you can see in all the complaints via the video. They send you these emails where they don't actually facilitate anything in a timely manner. On top of that, they're hard to actually get in touch with. When you do call them, they don't put you in touch with the processor that's processing your application. The leasing agents, you can never really get them on the phone, the ones that put the systems in our MLS system. And when you do call, because I've called several times to try to get a hold or a direct number to the processor, they'll say, oh no, you have to reach them everything by email or go into Find Digs and utilize the chat box. So it's a runaround, and it can be very frustrating, and it can seem like it could possibly be a scam. So let's just kind of dive into one more thing, and then I'm out of here, just to let you guys realize that as a realtor down here in the Metro Atlanta area, Excalibur Homes, they kind of populate our MLS system. So every time someone is looking for a rental with us and we send out a list of rentals that's available within their price range, you'll get a lot of Excalibur Homes that kind of populate our MLS system. So, and what always happens due to the pictures, because they understand that people are very consumed by the pictures or whatever. Like, people love pretty looking houses or pretty pictures. So they will in turn always pick an Excalibur home. And that's what traditionally happens in our system when we send out basically rentals within their budget. People will always end up picking Excalibur homes just because how they present the home. It's always presented very nice. So this is an Excalibur home in our system. And again, like I told you, Excalibur Homes rentals are always cheaper as far as the rental amount. They always give some type of, they'll always give some type of special maybe on the home. They're always trying to give an incentive to kind of move people into the home. So this is an Excalibur home, and we'll just take a quick look at it. So it kind of presents nicely outside. And again, like I said, a lot of these pictures are refurbished or reused pictures. These pictures were taken when they first bought the house, renovated said property, and then they posted it on the MLS or on Zillow or whatever, and they're still utilizing the same pictures. They're not going back and they're not taking new, fresh looking pictures. So this is Excalibur Homes. So as you can see, they're always nicely looking. They're always great pictures are taken. And so a lot of people just flock to always utilizing Excalibur Homes. All right, so let's go to another one in our system. Let's see, and we go to next. Again, if you see EXCA01, that's Excalibur Homes in our system. So you got, here goes another Excalibur Home, EXCA01. That means Excalibur Homes. As you guys can see down here, I'll let you guys know that there's Excalibur Homes right here. It says right here, Excalibur Homes. It says right here, like I told you, they're always offering some type of incentive. Moving within 1 week of approval, receive a reduced $1,000 flat security deposit plus 2 free months for a 14-month lease. So it always entices people. Here goes another Excalibur home, and we're going to end right here. But I always let people know like how the process works with Excalibur, because I have worked with a lot of clients as far as rental properties. I don't do rentals that often no more, so it's very rare that I take on a rental. I usually take on a rental based on a referral from a past client that I worked with, or someone that really is in need of a rental, and they can actually hit all the check marks and they listen to me when I tell them how to effectively go about getting the rental property. Because some people don't want to listen to what you tell them. They want to do their own thing. But I always state to people, follow these steps X, Y, and Z, and make sure this is correct X, Y, and Z, because that's a smooth transition to get you into a rental. Like I said, I have gotten some clients into Excalibur homes and they followed my protocol to get them into the home. However, I have gotten a lot. I have had a lot of clients that got denied, and did they all effectively follow my protocol? No. Some people gonna do what they want to do, but some people did effectively follow the protocol, and then Excalibur said they were denied due to things that didn't make sense on regards to their situation. And I have been able to get one of the clients that I worked with that got denied through Excalibur due to the them falling short as far as responding to his email to transfer the property. I've been able to get his application feedback, but usually Excalibur does not refund your application fees either. So that's why I said most people feel like Excalibur is a scam. They just take your application fees, they don't do anything, or they take too long for the process to kind of get you into a home. They always hit you with that email I showed you earlier. But again, like I said, they populate our MLS. So when we send out rentals within a certain price range, they are always populating our MLS because they have one of the lowest monthly rental rates down here in Atlanta. So again, that is a little bit about Excalibur. The question is Excalibur Homes a scam or not? And all I can say is you guys are going to have to decipher that yourself. I cannot tell you yes or no if they're a scam, because like I said in the video, I've been able to get some clients into Excalibur and some I have not. And there is a process that goes into Excalibur, a lengthy process, a long process, and you cannot always get people on the phone with Excalibur. But at the end of the day, are they a scam? I don't know. You have to be the judge of it. Let me know if you have any issues in regards to Excalibur below in the comments. If you are a renter, or if you are even an agent that has been trying to get one of your clients into Excalibur, let me know what type of pitfalls you guys have come across, or let me know if you've got into Excalibur successfully and you like what they do for you as a renter, or even as a realtor when it came to that transaction with their leasing agent. Let me know any type of success stories down in the comments below. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and put your notifications on to be alerted when new videos get uploaded to the channel. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.